No. Hello, everybody. We forgot that this video was in English. I have no other place where I put my camera besides here on the dash. I'll just get on the road real short. So, just to get this video started, yesterday I have a 3D printer now in my house. Nothing special about it, just some work stuff and just some, nothing special about it. But then, since I have a technical mind, I started thinking, well, how is it possible that I can get to that printer from anywhere in the world without the router being actually configured to allow the connection to happen? And I was starting to think, how is this possible? Of course, just some days later, I thought, but I can also connect to my vacuum cleaner when he's outside, and the lawnmower. So eventually what happens is, all these devices, they don't have the access for somebody to connect out from them in your house. That's, in a way, forbidden by the router, especially when you're doing mobile internet. But what they instead do is they themselves connect to us and send entire data to those servers. What it means is the 3D printer has a camera inside, maybe it has some hidden microphone also inside, like the Alexa. Many people have the Alexa, the speaking AI speaker. It sends all information somewhere, it's being processed and sends back. So for example, imagine I'm like talking with somebody about something, and you get these advertisements already appearing for you if somebody was listening to you. Now, all these things give us comfort in our life, especially the refrigerator, the AI robot that cleans your house, everything. But they give also, there's no good without bad, no bad without good. They give also the dark side of it. Practically what will happen, or maybe is already happening, is all these devices, especially the routers, they are monitoring the signals. And there was, I had one friend who was also like, let's call him a channeler, and in this case she said that she had a dream where Chinese have integrated in our microchips like a parallel chip that analyzes the data you are talking or sending, whatever. So what it means is there's a small hidden computer within the processor itself. So what it means is these tiny chips, these computers, they are so small that it's impossible to actually see something with our eyes, or with our even with microscopes. It's practically impossible to understand what's going on there. These processors have now wires inside them 4 to 3 nanometers, which is very, very, very small. It's like 1,000th of a millimeter. Who can see them? Who can understand what they are doing? Who can read the programs that they are doing? So what happens right now is I give like 100% that the devices are sending all your data to servers. These data are sold or trained AI servers. So basically what happens is, imagine yourself in a prison where a guard is watching you, where the walls are closed and you have limited space or limited opportunities what you can do. Now we are, and watch a movie about North Korea's prison camps, labor camps or something. So while one side of the propaganda is offering democracy and something, basically selling to us that we are selling our freedom in exchange for security feeling. So now we are, in a way, let's call it, programmed that we feel we are free, and we have our securities, like maybe health or maybe something else. or we are being security from, you know, robberies and stuff like that. But in a way, we are living in a prison, and slowly this new technology takes over. That the vacuum cleaner is your new modern age security guard. Lawyer is like an infiltrator who sees what you are doing, where you are walking. Refrigerator takes pictures and sees what's in your refrigerator. TV tells us, especially TVs with cameras nowadays, they tell us, they show us. They don't show us. They also show to others. What are you doing? What are you watching? What is your life? What is in your room? Everything. So anyway, we are getting slowly inserted into this camera. We are being slowly into let's call it in the prison that imprisoned us and giving us our, let's call it, comfort in exchange for freedom. So anyways, so that was this all came through one moment when I was watching just how the 3D printer is printing, and it's like, not even talking about our mobile phones. So basically everybody, anybody can see us, can hear us, can watch us. And there is a part that it's called the government or the law protects the personal rights, but anyways, let's skip that part because it's very hard to actually prove that somebody's been taken information and use it. So anyways, so what I wanted to also share in this video was I downloaded the AI toolkit, which basically means you can set up your own AI system on your own computer. You just need a pretty powerful GPU card. So anyway, let's keep it short. And then I started watching these videos, how do you actually use those softwares. And then I was surprised. Man, you don't believe this, man. You just don't. It's like, I don't know how many Instagram followers, how many stuff is completely fake. It's like, it's just completely fake. So what thing is, what happens? The AI creates, you can create an AI digital, let's call it digital person. You can create it then with different AI tools. Basically, all tools are free and downloadable. You can create it for just take this human and make it with different tools to have her face, her everything from different angles, like left, right, up, down, different clothes and everything. Let's call it lady. Now this lady is being created from all directions. It can be also a real human, like a real person pictured from all corners, all clothes, all corners. Now the thing is, what happens then is you put all these pictures inside one AI model, and it generates some sort of samples of you. I didn't quite catch how it actually works, but the idea is that it creates like another file, which is a sampled AI version of yourself. Whatever that means, is it will get more clear shortly. So then these samples are inserted in another AI, where you can write anything. Let's call it, okay, this is myself, let's call it lady. Now picture me and make a video where I'm speaking about flowers and next to a huge flower grassland. So anyways, now the next AI will take your prompt, it will take these samples, and you can add backgrounds, or you can just generate random backgrounds. But anyway, what it happens is it creates environment, and it uses your samples, so you look identical in all those environments where this lady will be inserted. So the thing gets even more interesting, that you can put multiple humans there, you can put multiple backgrounds, you can 3D backgrounds, everything. So what happens is basically you can also make him or her say some sentences that you like, or whatever those sentences may be. But anyways, so what happens nowadays is that these AI tools are so powerful that they're actually creating a fake perspective of let's say a real human. So what happens now is that fake videos, lots of fake videos, fake profiles, thousands of fake profiles, fake texts, AI generated, thousands of fake texts, thousands of fake websites, is being watched by thousands or millions of fake bots that learn and study from this and create another stuff of fakeness. So what happens is humans are creating a fake reality, and to keep it continuing. Now, imagine at the beginning when I said about the vacuums and everything, they information to servers. Now they also take that information and put out and learn something from those informations that are being sent. So they can create, especially if you have cameras, they can create from your Facebook profiles, something, a fake version of you, of your house, and create fake videos of you, or fake information of you, or completely understand and see you, or in the reality where you are, like a additional fake reality that even knows more about you than you yourself, because the human mind tends to forget information. But those AIs, they can memorize like thousands and thousands of information. Of course, it's power consuming and it's very, very resource demanding. But if you are in, let's say, a wanted list or a search list or in some sort of list like influencers that need to be monitored, it creates like a perspective of course, God sees everything. Universe sees everything. Universe knows everything. But this creates some kind of, for our human senses, it creates something like, this is a really, really, really strange reality in which we are going. Like I remember we channeled like maybe a few years ago when these AIs, I didn't know anything about these AI models. The beings were telling, yeah, basically, not in a long time, like 3 to 5 years, there will be hospitals that will use these AI systems that will basically create reports, create orders that are needed to be filled. They create everything. I mean, like orders, like what medicine do we need to order, how many clients there will be, how many beds are used. They like create everything from the information that is available. So digitalized hospital, digitalized reports, digitalized users, and I bet even AIs could help to do surgeries, like in a way how it's the most way to approach them. Even now, one of my friends, he made a complete website from a game. Let's say apart from website game, a working part, something from complete AI generation. Like you just write the prompt what you need and it creates a software. Of course, it's time consuming now, but still, you don't need to study these developments. So, anyways, looking it in the future, I remember one dream, like also maybe 10 or 5 years or 8 years ago, I don't remember. But there was this dream where I was 2 or 3 times actually in the same world or whatever. I was in a future reality or whatever. It was like 2100 or something. Actually, it's like the movie Matrix. You think it just yesterday I watched some clips for the Matrix. There were drones flying over, but the drones were like footballs. Because if it crashes or falls down, the drones are very, very light. Very, very light. They were they had motors inside, so it was very, very light, and those motors were inside, and somehow they managed to fly because the air created some kind of like a vortex around it, so it became really stable. But the idea is if it falls down, it can easily get up himself by itself. So they fly around and they take pictures of everybody. And you're walking around the streets. If you're suspicious, the drone flies, asks you to look inside the camera. You look inside the camera, he tells you, yeah, have a nice day, beautiful evening or something. And there are programs that tell you what you need to do in your mobile devices, whatever. They tell you what you need to do. Yeah, you you're getting older, you need to do more workouts, or you're getting at a certain age, you need to do more health checks or something. Basically, their reality was pretty quality. They were really satisfied humans, but in a way ignorant. They didn't care about anything. So you would say they are falling asleep in a way. So it was in that story, what I remember, there was a moment when they were talking about that they developed AI in some time ago, and then they developed how can humans actually connect to this AI. So meaning that these humans who could actually connect to this AI, they will have like a tremendous amount of intellect. They will be more smarter, more faster, maybe not faster, but they could develop certain skills that they have never even had before. Who resisted to this? And thought, or they had the opinion that it's not you connecting to the AI system, it's the AI taking over you and controlling you. So that's what I thought. So because these people very smart, they worked in laboratories, they did stuff. They were completely different people now. And so this resistance group started to fight against that system. But the drones were so advanced that they couldn't fight them, because even if they walk on the streets, these resistance groups, they need to wear masks, they need to hide from the drone. The drone flies and asks them, hey, please show your face, and you have a mask, and he says, okay, you're from the resistance group, please stand still, don't go nowhere. And a different drone comes and picks you up and takes you away. Who knows where? Nobody knew where they'd take him. They never see them again. Maybe they reprogram him, who knows. And nobody wanted to find out, because they thought it will be no good there. It will be no good. So they resisted and they fight it, and it was really challenging, because they basically, what they do, they firstly understood we hide it in house. There were also old houses like we have right now, old cities. They hide it in the old city, the top ceilings. Basically, there's this roof rooms on the roofs. And we were in a group of, let's say, 8 to 10 people, I don't remember. They were different ages, they were young and older people. And there was one leader of the group. I was not the leader, but there was one girl who said, hey, I took a gift from my parents. Parents are in the good side, but we are in the resistance side. And the leader looked at her and thought, never, ever take gifts from the outside, because these are the ones themselves that are giving you these gifts, and now they will track us. And there was a panic instantly. Everybody was getting afraid, and we needed to move out and move out fast, because the drones are incoming. As soon as you take out that gift, there was a mobile phone or something, like a tablet or something, it instantly turns on and sends signals to where we are. And instantly the drones were part where these leaders in our groups told us that the only thing safe for us will be if we go into underground, because we have nowhere to go. These drones are getting more and more advanced. That's the only thing we could do underground, where they will not find a way to get in, because these drones are actually pretty dumb. They enter the room, they scan the room, but only horizontally. They didn't have the ability to look up, and even if they look up, they have no understanding what's happening there. And the same as looking down. So imagine if you enter a room where there's only concrete walls, they will not understand anything. They will just fly around and fly away. So some could be attached to the ceilings, some could be hidden in the closets, or some could be, maybe there's a really well hidden concrete wall that you open and close, and some go inside. So if you close that room pretty tightly, they will not have any idea that somebody's actually behind that walls. So you could escape them, but it was getting more and more challenging. The drones are getting more and more, and now I remember those things, and now I see how fast the AI has developed and how fast it is developing. I think that we in our age will see many interesting things, and in the channeling beings also told that there will be like these in the future. There will be, not like in the dream future which we talk about the drones, but in our future there will be like really smart, open-minded people, and like computer people, like, you know, these developers and stuff. They will figure out a system that the society can easily work together without the government actually needing. And this is a huge threat to the bureaucracy world, because then people could easily just start living some kind of different world, parallel world to government world, and it's a really huge threat actually. So the system overall is taking it seriously. But now there's another part, especially like the crypto part, that there is always, on the universe, there is always both sides. And one of them is that these AI tools like ChatGPT, it's actually pretty much censored. But these open tools, they are not censored. So you could eventually ask anything, it will tell you anything. It'll make a video of everything. So imagine now if there would become an open super AI available for everybody, like the ChatGPT is doing, like $500 billion investments in a huge computer farm. And then at some point it will become open sourced, and smart people will make also huge data centers for, like, let's say, like a parallel AI system that is open sourced, and as Bitcoin cannot be turned off. And then you can ask them anything and everything. So they will become really smart. And they will, you know, how to, let's say, create an alternative society where there is no, let's say, poverty or control. Of course, control there will always be, like, it's the nature of duality, but it creates a way for ordinary humans to have, like, a chance, like poor people have a chance, like, to balance out things. Now there is like a strong trend of everything turning into AI, but it can go on all directions instantly. I mean, like, you can go in all directions. Even if you talk with AIs about spirituality, they can easily give you pretty deep answers to those, even more deeper than actually humans can do. So I would not say, I would definitely say that our future is it will become very but it's interesting only in a way of mind and human now. What I want to tell more about in this video is that we are basically, you know, when people tend to talk about our planet, our world, and everything, no, stop. Who said that this is your planet, your world? You're just, let's say, a soul that is using this body for the sake of its or some experiences. So nobody declared it's you. It's the body itself that is maybe hypnotized and telling you impulses, energy, feelings that you start. Even the body itself is you that thinks. Basically, you're just absorbing the processes, what happens inside the body, and declaring that this is how it is. You're basically absorbing the programming language that you're being programmed. You're basically seeing what others told you to think, and you believing it, and you are doing it. So basically what happens is, I'm telling you something, you start believing it, and then you are just observing how this new program language that I told you is starting to take action in your life. So, and somebody just told our planet, our life. So we as humans are incredibly hypnotized, and we don't quite understand what is what. So we're just following these programs that is being given to us. So we're basically living in an autopilot. But what I understand is that for the sake of existence of humanity and our beings, in this unique duality world, there is no other way, and there is no different way except this way. If we become more smarter, we will start to reject things. If we become more dumber, we begin to die out. So it's like an overall shape and balance that's slightly adjusted from time to time. So what it means is we believe everything, we live on based on those beliefs, and soul is just observing the ride. But the more you start meditating, who am I? The more you start understanding that this is laugh about this unreal reality that we were inside, and how these people live, how these people feel, how these people think. It's like incredibly silly, incredibly unimaginable way. So that's what Enrico is constantly telling in his channel, is that how can you even imagine and think something like this? It's like extraordinary and highly exciting and interesting. How can we even think about these ways? How can we pay bills? How can we do that? And this is it's like a completely outrageous interest in this. So anyways, I don't know what I want to tell with this, but what I wanted to tell is for sure is that release those attachments to our planet, our world. And like George Carlin was telling many times, he has given up on humanity a long time ago. He just enjoys the ride and watches the film, and he said, oh, I didn't know that this was also interesting. How did he came up with this? And just write it down. Oh yeah, another thing happened. So in our reality, in our life, there's like super programmed people and super spiritual people, observers. So everybody is pulling themselves to those both sides. And sometimes even the spiritual people who think they're spiritual are actually pulling to this side. So believe us, we need to save the planet and stuff like that. So you as a soul doesn't care about the planet. You as a soul doesn't care about different humans. You as a soul, in a way, enjoys the ride with those other souls that are hidden or disguised in this other forms and people which are around us. And those people and those humanoid robots, let's call it the human chassis, this Homo sapien, whatever, has a strong programming language that it disguises you as a woman, as a girl, as a creativity person, as a developer, as a politician, everything. And then we create a huge circus. We create like an incredible circus. Now, this is how to interpret this. But to become more aware is just like maybe like a week ago, I had difficulties at turning off my mind when I was meditating, and I tried to shut down my mind. And then there was a whisper in my ear that told me, don't try to fight the mind, just feel yourself. And that was a game changer. I was like, oh yeah, that was what I was always wanting to do. Always was doing, like those many years ago. Feel the self. So when we are beginners in meditation, we, in a way, don't know what should we feel. So that's why we shut down our thoughts, we shut down our movements, we just focus on the breath, we feel the breath, until at some point we start to feel the only thing that is real, the only thing that is still awake is the self, the observer. So when we become to feel it more and more and more, you cannot describe you how to feel it, just have to feel it, then it's actually really easy to shift to him. And when you can shift them, it doesn't matter what the mind thinks and doesn't think, you feel it instantly. You feel the self instantly. So just don't do meditation, just feel the self. Don't try to not think, just feel the self. Yeah. Oh, there was another thing. Maybe a while ago there was some dead person who came to me in like quasi-meditation state. And he was Russian. There's a part of Russian elite, whatever, it doesn't matter. So now I like, what is this propaganda? And there was like a discussion, and one topic was about propaganda. He said that propaganda is just It's just a pretty simple. I'll tell it in unpolitely way as he tell it in Russian curse words, but it's a complete shit. It's very simple shit. The reason for propaganda is to give you to give the let's say propaganda victims to give them a feeling that they belong to something in a tremendous power, something super powerful, something overnatural, something the best there is. And when you start believing it, when you start sensing it, you give everything you have, your beliefs, your, let's say, dignity, deity, to this ultra superpower, and you are part of it. You're a communal part of this ultra superpower. So propaganda is a method to install this belief in you, and it has no relevance and no actual connection with reality. It doesn't need to be absolutely in a way connected to reality, only in some parts, just to make you, oh yeah, that's real, like part is lies, mostly it's lies, but some parts is really true, so you believe it, you start believing it even more. So what it means is, if something bad happens, you never tell it, oh yeah, we lost power, we lost control, we are losing, we are bankrupting. You don't even tell this, because at that moment when you start telling this, people will just collapse, this idea will collapse, this nature will collapse, they will start to protest against each other because they start feeling weak. So the thing is, always just impose huge power, full control. Everybody is to blame. We are the best there is. We need to do something about this. And it's actually the same in our side. In let's say, call this democracy. We are changing the feeling of insecureness for change. Let's say we are trading this artificial idea of securities for the feeling of safetyness. So what I mean is these things do exist, these propagandas and everything do exist because the nature of our humanoid robots. We feel fear, we feel insecure, we want to be something connected with huge power. So these strong emotions are being abused against us, let's call it like this, or abused or used and controlled. But anyway, when we in channeling ask these things, they say, yeah, but there's nothing bad in this. It's not like something you need to destroy. It's just a way of keeping up. The DNA genetics, what I understood from channeling, are created in a way that if there is somebody with absolute highest intelligence, if he can take over the society, or somebody that has high intelligence, and you see that it has high intelligence, the absolute nature of genetics would be to start following him and repeating him. It's like a built-in DNA. So if somebody can impose that he has a huge power or huge knowledge, or then people can actually start following him. It's just like in genetics, software is written like this. And imagine you get close to a celebrity. What do? You get crazy. You start picturing, following, asking questions, what does he do? And you really instantly, really fastly install it in your life. And then not even think about people who have tremendous amount of money, like let's say a man with lots of money. Men want to be next to him and girls want to be next to him. It's a genetic. So anyways, what I want to tell you, so in a way, we are being abused by our own natural programming language. Means that somebody has understood humans pretty good, and it's using to control the humans itself. And just one more story before we finish. There was a sad thing. There's like a large charity organization here in Latvia, like a, let's call it, let's just call it a large, for Latvia level, large charity organization. So anyways, they are like exposing these families with very unhealthy children, to get those donations from them. Now, I really think this is being in a bad body is absolute worst that can happen. But the thing is, what I saw in these people that they were telling their life story, very, very naive. If a doctor told you, you're doing this. So eventually the story happened like this. Baby was born, he grew up to age 7, and then doctors discovered something. I don't know, they had like a book of tens of millions of diseases, and they discovered a disease. So basically, the child was walking all good, and then they discovered the disease. We need to do something about it. Then they start doing about something. Then this therapy, that therapy, then this pills, those pills, that surgery, this surgery. And after some 5-10 years, when they tried to find, they discovered a new disease, then a side disease, then a new disease, side disease. Eventually, from such many surgeries, there is a side effect, having like when the blood channels broke in your head, and you get this, I don't know how you call it, and you become paralyzed. And then there's a new disease. Okay, yeah, there was and there is a chance for it to happen, a very, very small, but there is a chance. So after this, you need these and these therapies. So eventually what's happening is, what I believe is, so many people are so addicted to the system, not understanding that basically universe is a duality, and it's unpredictable. And at first something may seem like this, but at the next moment it's completely different and opposite. There's a chance for everybody, and no situation is the same as it was for somebody else. So it's very diverse. It's completely diverse. And spending amount of time and energy and belief to somebody that just, let's say, in a way charges, and in a way, when I start talking about this reality that it's dual, why do people actually think that hospitals help? Why do they have this idea that they help? Of course they help somebody, but eventually they destroy somebody as well. So, and this is the way of duality. So you keep this idea of duality in all forms, shapes in your society. Use it as this main filter or this validation score system. Yeah, okay, you have, let's say, a diagnosis. It doesn't mean anything, because people with diagnosis can be cured, and people without diagnosis can someday instantly have a diagnosis or something, So it doesn't actually mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's just how life is evolving. So I once start thinking, well, people had I have many friends who have been in surgeries and hospitals and everything. Did the hospital, let's just like 100 people and do, let's like a small statistics, did they help somebody, or did they mess up somebody? What was the score overall? And I didn't do the statistics, but even to myself, I had many times when things are pretty messed up, I was like, screw it, I'm not going to those hospitals anymore again. It's like when you take the raw statistics, put them together, you will see that basically hospitals are 50-50. I think it's very close to 50-50, maybe 60-40 or something, like 60% are actually cured and 40% are healthy people, maybe are destroyed, just something like that. So it's just like, it's the best that we can get. So anyways, finishing this video about the AIs and stuff. The thing is, AIs consume a tremendous amount of energy, and in world of duality, no energy is used anywhere. So this is the energy, the electricity that the servers used, is the energy that humans save. Like we and you save on our works, on our thought process and everything. So if where energy is saved, the different place energy is used up. So the AI saved us time, thinking power, and everything, and in some place in another world, that energy right there was used more. So we are putting this raw energy to use in a way in a different place. So in a way, energy is not created, not destroyed. It's always in balance. So this is how it happens. So, but anyways, the thing is, the AIs will start to use more and more and more and more power and energy. They will input this energy in our world more and more and more. So we will see more and more, let's say, dramatic changes. For example, if this energy will overpass or surpass human energy, investment in the hospitals and knowledge, the medicine hospitals and everything will just develop more rapidly, more strongly, with less errors and stuff like that. So I think AI could definitely bring up to us a more easier and a more let's say quality in our life with less work. Maybe the AIs will start doing work for us, who knows. I mean, like, who knows in what time, and then who knows what works we'll need to do. What will be the works that we need to do, because AI and robots will doing everything ourselves. So what will be the works we need to do? Maybe we just create fantasies and ideas, or filter ideas, who knows. True. So what I'd say is, true. So what I'm gonna say is, tonight is the meditation night. So have you and yourself a nice meditation, and see you guys someday.